Jessica, the Reincarnated Dog 3. By Hak Jin Kim. Jessica the dog. That night at home, sitting on the sofa next to Ellen, Jessica feels frustrated with her fate. A dumb dog. But nothing comes to her mind to challenge the fate. As she thinks of herself over and over, she hears Ellen talking on her cell phone. Strangely enough, Jessica can hear John's voice on the cell phone. He asks, "Hey, are you free this Saturday?" "Why?" Ellen asks. "I want to have dinner with you on my mom's birthday. Is your mom okay with me?" "I've never met her." "Sure. I already told her about you. She was so delighted, you know. She says she's wondering how her son's best friend look." "Oh, then, yes," Ellen says. "What do you have in mind for the birthday present?" Ellen asks. John says, "Well, flour will be fine. Don't bother, please. I'll pick you up at 5 o'clock. She booked for 4 at a fine restaurant." "Then I think I have to leave Jessica at home," Ellen sighs. No, you can come with her. There's a lounge for puppies," John says. Ellen says, "That sounds great. Jessica will love it. She likes the pet lounge. Before we join the dinner, I need to get permission from my mom." On Saturday, Ellen and Jessica step out onto the small porch and make their way toward John's car. Ellen climbs into the passenger seat, holding a floral bouquet, and Jessica slides into the back seat, and the car pulls away. They hit the road, and Jessica watches the city pass by the window, which looks like soulless concrete blocks. They cross the city and go past the recognizable modern building. And then they arrive on time at the restaurant, which is located inside the country club in the suburbs. John and Ellen approach the clubhouse to ask about the dog's lounge. "Oh no, this is not what I expected. I thought I could see John's family. What the heck? I have to stay with other dogs." "Ha," Jessica growls. But they don't sense what Jessica thinks, and put her in the lounge. Jessica can't help getting interested in the new place, and joins other dogs in the lounge. As John and Ellen get in through the revolving door, they are guided to the table by the window. They cross the floor, which is placed for dance, in case of the bands playing the music. John smiles at his mother and his grandmother and introduces them to Ellen. John says, "Ellen, this is my mom. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Greiner. Thank you for inviting me to your birthday dinner," Ellen says. "Call me Kate. I'm very happy to have you here, Ellen. I've heard of you a lot," John's mother says. When Ellen turns her eyes to John, she notices John blushes a little bit. "And this is Jenny Bacon, my mother," Kate says. "Hello. Nice to meet you, Ms. Bacon," Ellen says. "Call me Jenny. Nice to meet you, too. You look gorgeous." "I mean it," Ellen says. "Thanks. I'll take your compliment," Jenny says with a smile. Kate laughs and says, "Ellen, today is my birthday." Ellen is abashed at that moment, but quickly says, "Oh, you're pretty, Kate. You look like in your 30s. John giggles when he hears women's talks at the scene of their first meeting, as they talk about what has been going on around them so far. Without any defenses, the birthday dinner seemed to be like a family gathering. Jenny and Kate are wondering if John will move to another city, which Ellen may live in, to attend a college, because they seem to stick together all the time. John says with a wide smile, "Oh, Mom, there's still more than a year to go." After they finish a big dinner, they all go to the lounge to pick up Jessica. When Jessica is called by Ellen, she happens to see Jenny. "Oh my God, who is that woman? Is she Jenny?" "She is an old woman with gray hair, now. But she's still beautiful," Jessica sighs. "Hey, Jessica, here I am. Were you okay? Did you have friends here?" "Now it's time to go home," Ellen says. And then Ellen says again, raising Jessica's forefeet, "Jessica, say hi This is Kate, John's mother, and this is Jenny, his granny. Jessica stares at Jenny's face without glancing at Kate, and tries to reach Jenny to feel her by making eye contact. She looks at Jenny in the eye, with love for a while to show who she was in the past. Being unaware of Jessica's stare, Jenny seems to be interested in Ellen more than a dog. At last Jenny turns to Jessica and says, "Oh, now I see. This is Jessica." She looks like saying something. "What is it?" "Honey. It's me. I'm Andy. Can you believe this?" Jessica says over and over in her head. Ellen observes her and says, "Hey, Jessica, you like Jenny, huh? But it's time to let her go. We can see her around soon." On the way home, Ellen becomes curious about Jessica's behavior because she fixed her eyes keenly upon Jenny and looked very serious. She hasn't behaved like that as far as Ellen knows. What is it? What makes Jessica stare like that? Ellen says to herself. Although she is just a dog, Ellen couldn't stop thinking of Jessica, doubting there is something in Jessica. Meanwhile, Jessica still can't believe how this crazy thing happens. Reincarnated and encountering Jenny, but no one knows who Jessica was in the past. After Jessica finds that Jenny has lived well with her daughter, Kate, from her second marriage and seemed forgetting Andy's existence and Sue, her first daughter. Jessica even feels some kind of sadness. She can't sleep that night, because this whole situation is too much for her to bear as a dog. At the dawn of the next day, she runs out to the house that John took Ellen and Jessica several days ago. Even if she knows that her rushing into that house is meaningless now, she just wants to smell the air Jenny breathes. Andy hadn't forgotten Jenny, his ex-wife, until he died because she was his lifetime lover. Jessica inhales deeply, deluding herself into thinking that young Jenny is coming with a soft smile. For a few minutes Jessica stays still, and then runs back home before Ellen gets up for school. Since then she runs there every night after checking every member of the family falls asleep, only to see Jenny through the bedroom window in the distance. Day by day she loses her appetite and stays in her bed all day doing nothing. She sighs every minute, just drinking water. She becomes depressed more and more, thinking that she's a mere speechless dog, and her life is worthless. As days have passed, Ellen begins to feel that something goes wrong with Jessica, and tries to pay attention to her. But she has been out for most of the day, so that she can't find out what makes Jessica look depressed. And still, Jessica sneaks out to watch Jenny every night. One night Jessica doesn't notice John, who finds her while he is parking on the street. John says with surprise, "Oh, Jessica, what are you doing here tonight? How could you reach here? Are you running away from Ellen?" As soon as John texts to Ellen, who's never expecting where Jessica is, he takes Jessica home before too late. Ellen's been waiting for Jessica and takes over her from John. She tickles Jessica, giving her favorite goodies instead of scolding. Ellen says to Jessica, glancing at John, "What a surprise. John found you there. I'm curious about what you were thinking." Jessica keeps her mouth shut without looking at Ellen. Ellen puts down Jessica nice and easy. After John closes the front door, Jessica climbs upstairs to take a rest. At night she wakes up and feels something, and flash of inspiration comes to her mind. "That's it. I know how to write though I can't speak," Jessica mumbles. "First, I have to eat for energy, and then practice drawing alphabet with my legs." "Oh, you nuts. How couldn't you think of this? Your body is a dog, but your mind is Andy," Jessica says to herself. "Okay, let's try." Jessica lifts her forelegs and drags them to make a vertical line, and then horizontal and circle. She practices drawing lines all day when she is home alone. Now the feeling of lethargy is replaced with exhilaration. She makes progress, working bit by bit, one step at a time. When she lifts one foreleg to make a letter, it's not that simple as she thinks. So first she stands on her 4 legs. And then make one foreleg push forward with other 3 legs anchored on the floor. After getting used to drawing lines, she moves on to the next step, writing a word. It was painstaking job because she has to use only her palms. She doesn't care how much hard she has to try. She just works hard to let Sue and Jenny know that their Andy is with them.